So are you interested in trading this holiday, 2017? Here's a couple examples of trades that I've used every holiday season for the last decade or so. But these are statistics based on the close of the Nasdaq on a yearly basis. So the day before Thanksgiving, day after Thanksgiving, day before Christmas, day after Christmas, day before New Year's, and so forth. And hopefully some of these statistics will help you in your trading. So what I did is go through all the historical data of the Nasdaq. Nasdaq's been around since the early 70s, and check to see if the day before Thanksgiving, day after Thanksgiving was a good day to trade. Was it up or down for the day, and so forth. And these are the statistics for it. They actually needed to be updated as of before Labor Day. That first one there is actually 32 and 14. The day before Thanksgiving is 37 and 9. Day after Thanksgiving is 37 and 9. Day before Christmas is 34 and 12. Day after Christmas is 33 and 13. And the day before New Year is 32 and 14, which is a fascinating day because the first 29 years in a row, the Nasdaq was up every single year of its existence for the stats that I have. And then the next 8 years, from 2000 to 2007, it was down 8 years in a row. And actually in the 2000s, so it's actually 3 wins and 14 losses. So in this particular, the last decade and a half, it has been getting killed, and actually the losses have been 40 and 50 points. And the day before New Year's, what that based on is that's the last trading day of the year. So all these days adjust a little bit. So the day before Thanksgiving is always going to be on a Wednesday. However, the date is going to be different. So for example, the date of the day before Thanksgiving this year is November 22nd. But for example, in 2015, I'll bring up a calendar here. Thanksgiving was November 26th, but the day before Thanksgiving was November 25th. So it's going to change every year, but I'm going to base this talk about 2017 and trading that. Now, if you want some statistics and some research and so forth, a great place, just Google Market Watch historical Nasdaq prices. This will come up. If you click on, say, the top one, this will pop up. And what I wanted to show you, so you can set the date. So for example, up here it says Nasdaq Composite, and you enter in the date, and I entered the 24th, which is actually the Tuesday, and you can see that was the closing price of the Nasdaq on November 24th, 2015. So 5102 and change. Now if I go to the following day, what was the close of that Wednesday before Thanksgiving? And again, historically it's been up. So if I click on it, let's see, there it goes, 5116. So it was up about 14 points on that day before Thanksgiving in 2015. So that's one of the 80% or so win rate or up times that that particular Nasdaq has done the day before Thanksgiving. So how do you trade this? You could trade this lots of different places. You could trade it in the futures. You could trade it lots of different places. I trade it at Nadex. I like binary options. You can trade it at a scammy broker. I do not recommend that. I only trade at Nadex, and that's the place I prefer. But if you're trading at Nadex, for example, the day before Thanksgiving, again, I'm going to go off of 2017. So in November 21st, you would want to look at Nadex at 6 p.m. on November 21st and click on the US Tech 100. This is actually the Nasdaq 100 futures. That is not the same as the Nasdaq Composite. So the statistics are based on the Nasdaq Composite. This is going to actually be the Nasdaq 100 futures. So there is going to be a slight difference. If it's a really close trade, it may determine whether you got a loss or a win versus what the system actually did. But let's assume that this is 6 p.m. on November 21st. It is not, but let's say it is. I would go down to the US Tech 100, click on the daily 415, and then enter a trade of whatever the slightly in the money is. So current market's at 62.96. I would be interested in buying the 62.94, and I would buy that one for $57 or so, and that would be about a 75% return if this particular thing happened. It's at 62.95 right now, and if I bought the 62.94, the market could go down even a point, and I would still win the particular trade. And now it's obviously moving quite fast. So that's how you trade it the day before Thanksgiving. Now, the day after Thanksgiving, if you're trading at Nadex, is a little different. If you're trading at Nadex, what you would want to do is, because Nadex is closed on November 23rd, what you would want to do is enter this trade on November 22nd, but do a weekly trade. You would have to do a weekly trade. So what you would do is log into Nadex around 4 p.m. on November 22nd. And again, US Tech 100, but click on the weekly. And that will close on Friday, November 24th. Actually, Friday, November 24th, I believe, is a half a day. So it'll close, I think, at 1:15 on that particular day. But what'll happen is you'll get all the movement in the Nasdaq from 4 o'clock or closing price of the Nasdaq at 4 p.m. on Wednesday until Friday at 1 o'clock close. So that's going to encompass basically all of Thanksgiving and so forth, as the markets do move, and the markets will probably open up or down on Friday morning. Because if you wait until Friday, I don't think Nadex opens the Nasdaq on their site until like 8 in the morning for that particular day. So keep that in mind. How you want to do it is completely up to you. These are just interesting statistics and thoughts that I have traded in the past. I tend to focus strictly on the holiday stuff. Hopefully you can make some money off that. If you'd like some additional systems, I have additional systems that I trade much more often. The Euro Pound system, for example, is hitting 80% in 2017 so far, and it's had over 50 trades, and which would be over about 100% plus return on investment for 2017 as of this video. You can take a look at that. There's a link in this video, below the video, for that. Drop me an email if you have any questions on trading. But it's just a fun way to potentially trade in 2017 during the holidays if you have some extra time before and after Christmas. And hopefully this is helpful. Talk to you all later. Take care.